Welcome to Swish and Flick, an all Potter podcast.
Swish and flick. Everyone? Swish and flick.
Hello and welcome to episode 135 of Swish and Flick. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Megan.
I'm Katie.
I'm Florence.
Oh, and this episode is sponsored by Emily Caroli.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks, Emily.
You're a peach.
Oh, Emily, you plum. Today we will be discussing chapter 10 of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Luna Lovegood.
Luna.
Oh, it's Luna.
She's a little loony. So make sure you've read the chapter and you're ready to bamboozle your way through the details. Megan, you've got some news for our weekly prophet.
I'm
Done. I'm not doing it anymore.
I do. So we have some sad news and some good news.
Give me the sad first.
The sad news is Rupert Grint canceled his appearance in Dallas, as did a lot of other celebrities. I am shocked that they have not canceled the con yet.
As of right
now.
Oh
As of
my
today.
god!
Yeah, so
Are you like in my
this
brain?
On the 12th of March, less than 1 month
2020.
to my birthday.
For those of you in the
Yeah, correct.
big time future.
For the people in the future, hopefully all is well. But
Yes.
as of right now, the con is still on. The Fan Expo Dallas is still on. Rupert canceled, and I think so has Swish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that?
It's only safe.
I love how Katie doesn't say anything. We're all like, yeah, and Katie's like, who?
Yeah, so we will not be going to Dallas. That being said, we definitely plan on visiting Dallas another time. We're just going to like move our flights just to like go to the city. Maybe Tiff can join us if we go during the summer. I don't know. We'll see. Just throwing that out there. Who knows? It could just be the three of us still. But, you know, we're still going to do a meetup if we go probably maybe June.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to come still, just not in 2 weeks or 1 week from when this episode comes out. But good news is we hopefully, virus pending, will be going to Orlando at the end of April for a weekend. And we plan on doing a little mini meetup in Orlando on Saturday, April 25th.
Surprise!
So surprise, Orlando.
We're coming home.
We're going to be in Orlando because flights are super inexpensive right now. And
And we're nuts.
why not?
But again, depending on how things are going
Yeah.
here in Ohio and in
in
Florida,
Florida.
So it's tentative. So we really won't know 100% until closer to the date if we're going to be there. But we
Yes.
plan on, if everything goes according to plan, we will be there.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, no Dallas, but we're coming to Orlando. We will be coming to Dallas. We'll let you know dates when we know it. We're sorry that we had to cancel, but just for our safety, for your guys' safety, Ohio, where we are in Ohio, there's cases. So I just, you know, who knows? One of us could be a carrier and we could come to Dallas. We could get it in Dallas, bring more back to Ohio. It's just not worth it. So
Yeah.
Yep.
it is what it is. And that's all I got.
These are mad times we live in. Mad.
What a time to be alive, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Tiffany.
it's time for the recap.
You got to read it either like Florence or like Harriet. Or it's Harriet.
Oh,
whatever your name is.
these are very hard choices.
Last time I did Harriet, I got lightheaded.
Do
much
Florence.
to
Do
read.
Florence. Do Florence.
All right, I'm not that good at it though.
You're
You're
perfect
great
at
at
it.
Harriet.
That's true.
You only
Do
have.
Harriet.
You only
She
have a
gives
little
her
bit
heart
to
and
read.
soul when she does Harriet.
And then you don't have to talk again for a while.
Okay, that's true. Ready? All right. It's time for the gang to get ready to head back to Hogwarts. But not before Mrs. Weasley throws a party. But Harry doesn't feel much like partying. And when he slips away, he found Mrs. Weasley cornered by a not-so-friendly pocket.
Well done. Well
It's so
done.
good. I was trying not to laugh because I knew that you were gonna laugh.
Buddy!
Florence should do the summary.
True.
It's
Yes.
been a long time.
I know, it's been too long.
You do Harriet.
No, Harriet.
Whatever. What
Wait,
are their
she's
names?
Harriet. I'm Harriet. I
Harriet,
think
she's
I messed
Terry.
up.
Harry and
you-
Terry.
Yeah.
All right. Take
then
a
Florence.
chill. No, you do your raspy whatever.
I don't know if I could do it for that long. Today is the day. It's Hogwarts Express Day. That's so loud. The Grim tags along. Harry's friends leave him alone with Ginny. Oh, but soon they have a meet-up with Neville and his new plant. And Harry meets a new and interesting friend. Her name is Luna Lovegood. The prefects patrol, Malfoy's, and they get off the train. And whoa, there are things suddenly pulling the horseless carriages to school. What? That is brand new information. Hagrid is not there, but let's just stop and take a moment, because where's my Hagrid? But don't worry, because Harry's just as sane as Luna is.
Oh boy.
As Sarah said in the chat, Harry Potter, as told by Roz.
Wazowski, you didn't file your paperwork.
The amount of times you slipped into Florence.
I know. 'Cause, like, Florence is like, I can't say she was my first one, because it was Suzanne. You know what I mean? So we have Suzanne first. But Florence is the one that I've done the most.
You're the most connected to
I
Florence.
feel like.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
I don't like, and when I was like on the high of doing Florence all the time on the podcast, I would talk in my real life. Ooh.
Hello.
And I'd be like, people are probably thinking I'm crazy. Like, oh, I'm just saying words in like Florence's accent.
The chat is giving
Tiffany,
me
let's
life.
talk about the red section, all right?
All right. So Harry, I said all right a little in Florency.
All right.
All right.
Harry had trouble sleeping that night, so in his dreams were his parents, Mrs. Weasley sobbing over a dead creature, and Ron and Hermione were watching over her wearing their crowns. And then Harry walking down a corridor, ending in a locked door. He woke up with his scar prickling to find that Ron was already awake and was talking to him. Oh, his scar was prickling. I wonder if that's the Horcrux.
Or it could be his seer abilities.
Or it could just be his teenage hormones.
Could be his seer abilities. It's like an antenna.
I think that was just the fact that he realized that Ron beat him in something. So
Yeah.
his pride was hurt, and it came through a scar.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's logical.
His pride prickled through his scar.
Pride prickle. Pride prickle. Of course, they overslept, and Molly is going to possibly go ballistic because they are going to miss the train. There's a lot going on in the morning, including some more Fred and George magic, and I did not remember this.
I didn't either.
Okay, so quote, from what he had heard as he dressed at top speed, Harry gathered that Fred and George had bewitched their trunks to fly downstairs to save their brother, to save the bother. Save their brother! To save the bother of carrying them, with the result that they had hurtled straight into Ginny and knocked her down 2 flights of stairs into the
Ginny.
hall.
But like, thank God for like their medicine and stuff, because like that could hurt for days, and they probably just
2
gave her.
Flights.
Yes. That's what you get for being like that. You
2
know?
flights. So Mrs. Black, obviously the portrait, not the person, and Mrs. Weasley were both screaming at the top of their voices. Could have done her a serious injury, you idiots! Filthy half-breeds, besmirching the house of my fathers. Whatever. I can't read today.
Loincloth.
I want that as merch. It's an angry Sarah holding it, and it just says loincloth. Anyways, 2 quality moms momming, right? Okay. So
Sure.
Hermione is flustered. She came in with Hedwig on her shoulder, and I said, I think that's cute because Hedwig is a quality bird. She had a cat in her hand and a bird on her shoulder, and I said, I want this drawn. So I need our listeners to draw me Hermione with Crookshanks in her arms and Hedwig on her shoulder.
Aw.
I want that. That's cute. Hedwig had just returned from delivering a letter from Hermione's parents because, as we know, she borrowed Hedwig to tell them about making prefect. So Harry asks about Ginny. That's cute. You want to know about your wife. And we find out that Molly has fixed her all back up, but now there's an issue with Sturgis Podmore. So Sturgis Podmore was supposed to be part of the guard to complete it as they go to the train station.
Isn't this the dude in the movie that has like a fishtail hat?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It literally looks like a fishtail.
I
Look
don't
it up.
I don't know.
I totally
Watch the
didn't know
movie.
that you put this in your notes, and I put it in my section too.
Sturgis Podmore.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
He's actually a super important character.
Yeah.
Like, super important. So Sturgis Podmore was a wizard and a member of the Order of the Phoenix. He fought both in the First and Second Wizarding Wars. Was also a member of Harry's advance guard. Pretty much just Harry's. Let's be serious. So in 1995, Podmore was put under the Imperious Curse by Death Eaters, probably Malfoy, who made him break into the Department of Mysteries, and he was sentenced to 6 months in Azkaban for the break-in.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy. So
Sturgis.
he's missing at the moment, but we know that he was in the First Wizarding War because when Moody goes over the picture, he goes, Sturgis Podmore, blimey, he looks young.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's looking young there, like all of them were super young, so he was probably around, do you think Harry's parents' age? Because they were super young for that first war, you know what I mean?
would
Are you talking
Yeah,
about
maybe.
Sturgis Podmore?
Yeah.
The internet says he was born in 57.
How does the internet know that?
I don't know.
What
I
is the
I didn't
site?
look super close at it. I just Googled his name, and that was like on the sidebar.
Is it the wiki? Is it that one site you were talking about last night?
Harry Albus Potter.
.com.
It's .net. I don't know 100%. Let me look back at it.
Okay.
And see why.
That
It
would
says it.
make him only 3 years older than James, though.
Yeah, so he's young.
So that'd be
Yeah,
close.
still pretty young.
Fandom.com. Harry Potter.
Interesting.
I'll click and look.
Okay.
With the
That's one of the wikias that I've used in the past.
yeah, this one's typically correct, and
Yeah.
Why would she give a birthday for him?
it's saying 50? Well, I don't. This is what it says.
Why
Born
not?
sometime between September 8th, 1956, and September 7th, 1957. So I don't know.
I don't know about all that. Oh, I know why. Because they say, okay.
Yeah, it's.
I
in Order of the
apologize.
Phoenix,
I
chapter
apologize. Okay.
14.
So an article from the Daily Prophet was in Order of the Phoenix, and it says Sturgis Podmore 38.
Yeah.
That's why we know. Number 2, Laburnum Gardens, Clapham. Clapham? Clapham? Clapham! Clap.
Clap on.
Clap off.
Clap off.
Clap on, clap off. The
It's
clapper.
the clapper.
So has appeared in front of the Whiz-Giz, charged with trespassing and attempted robbery at the Ministry of Magic on the 31st of August. Podmore was arrested by Ministry of Magic watch wizard Eric Munch.
Whoa.
Who found him attempting to force his way through the top security door at 1 o'clock in the morning. Podmore, who refused to speak in his own defense, was convicted on both charges and sentenced to 6 months in Owl's Cabin.
Eric Munch
Eric
saving
Munch!
the day.
Let's
like-
talk about the fact that
Hold on.
Eric Munch is the wizard of 2020.
Me.
Okay, Megan.
Okay, so
You know, I don't call on students who do that.
You said that he was found August 31st.
August 31st.
Which would be
Today.
the night before we are at in the book, which means the reason he's not there is because he has been caught.
Caught.
He's been caught. That's why he
By
didn't
Eric
show
Munch.
up. He's been caught by Eric Munch,
Eric
having
Munch.
some brunch and maybe some lunch.
Just munching on some.
I have a
Crunch.
hunch that they don't serve lunch at Azkaban.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm
He
sorry.
had to
I
stop eating his midnight brunch.
literally, you guys, I'm really sorry I yelled at you.
It's
That was
okay. We'll
amazing.
put a little note.
I just got really excited when I saw Watch Wizard Eric Munch. Can we be serious? Oh,
I love that you keep saying that in this episode. We can't be him, okay?
Oh my gosh.
No one can be serious.
So, anywho, after Voldemort's return to full power in 95, Podmore returned to the Order of the Phoenix, contributing to their efforts. Yeah. So he was supposed to escort Mr. Potter. Did not. They tried to use him to break in and get the stuff, the weapon. No deal. No deal, guys. No deal. Sorry. Anywho, guard, said Harry. We have to go to King's Cross with a guard. You have to go to King's Cross with a guard, Hermione corrected him. Why, said Harry irritably. I thought Voldemort was supposed to be lying low. Are you telling me he's going to jump out from behind a dustbin and try to do me in? I
always liked this section.
I don't know. It's just what Mad Eye says, said Hermione, distractedly looking at her watch. But if we don't leave soon, we're definitely going to miss the train.
I also feel like that's a kind of a snarky response from Hermione being like, no, you need an arm, like a guard or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that would almost be like more of a Ron thing, be like, I don't have to go anywhere with a guard.
Well,
you do.
She honestly, but she's like, it says she says it distractedly.
Say
So I feel like
distracted
she's
right
like way too busy to have this conversation,
Yeah.
which things that Harry should already know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like
Yeah.
she doesn't have time for this. And then Molly's losing it. And by the way, I'm calling her Molly because I'm too tired of typing Mrs. Weasley out. Anybody else? No?
Did you see what Vinny said in the chat?
I did not.
He was protecting the Hall of Prophecies, also known as the Hall of Hunches.
No, did you see what Brandon said too? He said they had a hunch about Eric Brunch. Oh, about Eric Munch eating lunch there, and he responded with a counter punch.
Oh my gosh.
Eric Munch, the greatest creative. What?
I don't know. Creation?
No, character. I think it's what I meant to say.
Oh.
The greatest creative.
Mind of our generation.
Creation in the universe.
So Molly's yelling up to them because they need to leave like right meow. Why can I not
Right
speak?
meow.
I'm the new Sarah.
We're just jazzed tonight, that's all.
I'm
Just jazzed.
just excited to be laughing and having fun. It's been
Same.
rough. It's been a rough day.
Yeah.
Been a rough week actually. So all the peeps are clamoring down the stairs and Mrs. Black's portrait is howling with rage. It's a scene. Harry is to go with Mrs. Weasley and Tonks, and Moody's going to deal with all of the luggage. And so just as he's finding out this information, a bear-like black dog appears at his side. Molly tells the dog, no, sit.
Bad
He
dog.
doesn't
say that.
listen.
That Dumbledore said no, but he doesn't listen, and Mrs. Weasley doesn't really have time to deal with this at the moment, so she's like, all right, basically on your head if you come. Like,
He's
that's
just, a not well-trained dog.
totally on you. He's wild pooch.
He needs to go to puppy school.
Tonks is waiting for them just up the street, and, quote, an old woman greeted them on the corner. She had tightly curled gray hair and wore a purple hat shaped like a pork pie. But what is a pork pie?
Is it a pie with pork in it?
It's a hat, also
Ooh.
called the English pastry
wait.
hat. The pork pie got its name from telescope crown, which features a slight lip around the upper edge of the crown, therefore looks similar to a traditional English meat pie.
Picture a, what's that guy's name?
Squatty top hat.
No. Walter
the
White.
best meat pies in London.
Walter
There
White.
was pies in London.
Right?
Walter
That was
White.
really
He
bad.
wears that hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't agree with me. You should always say I'm better.
Heisenberg.
Heisenberg.
Sure. Well, we find out a little bit more about the relationship that Arthur has with the minister right now because, quote, Mad Eye wanted to wait for Sturgis. If only Arthur could have gotten us cars from the ministry again, but Fudge wouldn't let him borrow so much as an empty ink bottle these days. But think about how much that has changed in less than a year.
Yeah. What a joik.
Yeah.
But it really shows you like how Fudge is, you know what I mean?
Well, we knew how Fudge was from 3.
Correct.
He's a whiny little brat.
Did not think you were going to say Brat.
Well, I'm on a child-friendly podcast.
Hello,
so
children.
I say brat.
But yeah, I mean, literally could not care. I mean, he tried to get Harry expelled.
Yeah, he's
Like
lame.
that is like come on.
It's just petty.
yeah,
Petty LaBelle right there.
He is a Betty.
And you are a grown man, several years older than him.
That could have wrecked
But
Harry's
also is trying to,
life,
like-
you know what I mean?
Get one up on Dumbledore.
That's his education,
Right?
you know?
Yeah, it's like not something
They
to
don't
just
but here's
like.
the thing, they
Like
don't
what?
care.
Oh, just go to another wizarding school? Cool.
Think how they handled Hagrid. Just because he's
Oh,
a
outrageous.
half demon, he's not a half demon.
What?
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
No, I've got other shows on my mind. He's a half.
What show?
Giant. If you watch Inuyasha, he's a half demon.
Half demon. Sirius is so happy right now, and it literally shatters my heart. He let out a joyful bark, and he gambled around them, snapping at pigeons and chasing his own tail.
I just don't get what he wasn't allowed out.
Harry was laughing at this. Molly was annoyed, but I also think that comes from a place of fear for Molly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a worried
Don't
mama.
ever take people's outward emotions as what they're actually feeling, because it always usually comes from like a place of like hurt
Also, people
or
can fake
fear.
it.
That's true. So they were able to walk to the train station in 20 minutes, and during this walk, Sirius scared a couple of cats to entertain Harry. But honestly, I didn't realize during this read that Grimmauld Place was so close to the train station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. I guess that makes sense for the Wizarding World.
Yeah.
It's not 20 minutes, but
Yeah, but it's close.
I just think like
in
it's
the heart
weird to me
Heart of London.
that like they all have to take the train, correct? And they all have to get on at platform 9 3/4, which is a
So how does
King's
nobody
Cross
see it?
station. No, I'm thinking like you could live in Ireland where like you could just
Right. Get there so much faster,
correct
probably.
apparate to
There
Hogwarts, right?
could be people that live
Walk
in
up.
Scotland
Correct.
that might
It
be able to
just-
just walk to Hogwarts.
But they have to take the train,
Right.
right?
I
Which
think.
is, I think, I feel like I remember reading that.
Yeah.
It just seems a little,
Backwards.
yeah, dumb. But whatever. It's magical and it's an experience. And Hogwarts train.
Hogwarts.
Woo!
So Harry inhaled the familiar smell of King's Cross Station and felt his spirits soar. He couldn't believe that he was really going back. I think that for a while he was really trying to come to terms with the fact that he might not be coming back to Hogwarts.
I gotta get back to Hogwarts. Gotta get back to school.
And then Lee Jordan tells Harry that he has a nice dog. Seriously. Moody is kind of like disguised as someone who works at the station because he's wearing a porter hat, which is like a train
Yeah.
train conductor hat,
It
kind
is.
of.
I looked it up because I went into your section a little bit, and I was like, oh, that was too far, because my section was like really short, because this chapter's pretty short. And I looked at that hat, and I was like, why are you wearing that to a train station? Like, do you want to feel like a conductor?
I feel like it's
I
just like
guess.
he's trying to like a little bit be
Blend in.
incognito, but
And
he also
needs
doesn't
to
know
hide his
what.
eye.
Oh, that's true.
So it says he
I
had it
pull
like
it down
tipped.
over my eyeball.
He has it like tipped to cover his eye.
It's magical.
isn't it like super risky to have Moody be a part of this anyway? Because like all the students could recognize him.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
He's not really like a blend-in dude,
Right.
I mean, 100%
even without the
not.
eye.
Clicking on down the train station.
Yeah.
And I just posed this question. Do you think that anybody would even attempt to get Harry at this time? Like, was all of this worry warranted, or was this just Moody being overprotective?
I mean, I think that they would not make a scene if they were going to try and get him, but I guarantee they're like trying to tail him.
Yeah.
You think so?
Whether it's Death Eaters or somebody on the side of the Ministry, just to try and get him for
But
doing
maybe
something.
like it's a
you know?
little overkill, and they're maybe trying to get information to be like who's around helping Harry.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So that we know who to watch. You know? So Moody mentions Sturgis not showing up, and I'm just reminding again that this is because Sturgis got Imperious and is the one who attempts to break into the Department of Mysteries and is sent to Azkaban. But
I'm sorry, where?
it was all Owlscaban.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But it was all under the Imperious curse.
Yes.
So
Sturgis isn't a bad guy, you guys.
he's
Don't
not a bad
forget
guy.
that.
And
He's
Eric
not a bad
Munch
guy.
saved the day.
Eric Munch came
Oh,
to brunch.
man.
Save it for everyone.
Yes.
The real chosen one.
The
Eric
real
Munch.
chosen one, Eric Munch.
What was it called? Watch Wizard? Wizard Watch? What?
Wizard Watch.
They're all,
No,
now
watch.
are just called the
Watch
Munchers.
Wizard.
They just watch.
Do you ever guys...
Do you ever guys?
What is wrong with me? Do you ever play that game, Numbers Munchers or something like this?
Yeah.
With the little
No.
green guys?
Yeah.
I love that game. I
been a
talked about
minute.
I talked about that today.
What was that math game that you would play on things?
The one
like
I
Astromath?
just said.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Was that what it was called?
I think so.
Something similar to that. I liked playing that.
Yeah, that was fun.
played
I also
Oregon
really
Trail.
enjoyed Mavis Beacon and Oregon Trail. Yeah.
we have
Dysentery.
the game like Bridget, but like there's like
It's
a card
so
game that you can
good.
play. I didn't make it.
So good.
Okay. Next.
Yeah.
It's nice, I think, to see Remus seeing Harry off here because it's not that, because, you know, I mean, if you think about it, like years 1 and 2, the Dursleys dropped him off and it was just kind of like,
Okay,
they
bye.
just like, you
It
know,
was
told him to
lame.
go. 3, he went with the Weasleys because he was at the Leaky Cauldron. I can't remember how he got there for 4.
In the cars.
Oh, that's right. So he was with the Weasleys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, but like this time, it's like another type of family figure that's there to see him off.
Not just Lupin, but Sirius is there.
Right. And
Quality poo.
quality pooch. And I just like that he gives him advice to be careful, and so does Moody. Moody also says not to put anything in writing that doesn't need to be, which is good advice.
Yes.
Because you know he's going to be writing Sirius, and Moody knows that as well, I'm sure. And I think he may have been saying it to both Sirius and Harry at that moment.
Of course.
Absolutely. So, for one brief moment, the great black dog reared onto its hind legs and placed its front paws on Harry's shoulder. But Mrs. Weasley shoved Harry away toward the train door, hissing, "For heaven's sake, act more like a dog, Sirius."
Fozzie Bear does that.
That
This is
image
true.
like just melts my heart and also makes it break a
know.
little.
I know.
I want to like how I like snuggle into Fozzie's fur. I would like to snuggle into Sirius's
Sirius's fur.
dog firm.
The whole
Dog
thing is
firm
just super
fur.
bittersweet because, like, especially reading it now, like, we know, like, Harry right now is, like, not being super optimistic, but, like, he doesn't think that, like, he has limited time with Sirius, you know what I mean? And even with Remus.
Well, you never
But
really
we
think
know
that,
this.
like-
So, like, reading it now and rereading it, it's like, oh, like, you just want them to, like
Have
savor
more of
have
those
time.
moments.
Yeah, like, have
He'll
time
see
together.
him again at Christmas time, though, right?
And honestly, they need each other so bad.
Yeah.
Their situations are not the same, but similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So Sirius then chased the train as
I
it
love this.
left, which was so cute. But Hermione says that she's worried that he came. She doesn't think that he should have come. Which, don't we find out that,
She's
like,
not wrong. Yeah.
Lucius notices the dog or something? Somebody knows.
Malfoy makes a comment.
Yeah.
Right.
Dogging around or something like this.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And the word is italicized.
And it's then it comes out in the Daily Prophet that he was spotted in London.
Yeah. Yeah.
More work for
So-
Kingsley.
Yeah. Then Harry asked, "Shall we go find a compartment then?" And Ron and Hermione exchange looks.
Awkward turtle moment.
Ron and I are supposed to go into the prefect carriage, Hermione said awkwardly. Ron wasn't looking at Harry. Yes.
What kind of snacks do you think they have in there?
They don't
Chocolate
because Ron
frogs.
comes back and says he's starving.
Oh, that's right.
No snacks.
That's true.
So I don't
There's
wanna be
no
a prefect.
snacks.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
It surprises me.
No.
They got 1,000 soaps in a bathroom and no snacks.
Lame.
Well, this is just the Hogwarts Express. They got to pay for their snacks, or else a snack lady is going to get those fingernails out and scratch them.
No, that was so not
Imagine
okay.
like those fake
She's
witch
like-
nails
For
that you
cursed
put on your
child
fingers.
people out there.
Do you remember those? The green bumpy ones with the red nails. That's what
Yes.
her.
Oh yeah.
They extend like that.
Oh my God, Katie.
Demented.
It was
Demented.
such a weird
I
scene.
know.
Yeah, let's
Keep
not
the
talk about it.
secrets.
Oh,
Ron is not looking at Harry, and he seemed to have become intensely interested in the fingernails on his left hand.
oh, the long ones.
Fingernails.
Oh, said Harry. Right. Fine. I don't think we'll have to stay there all journey, said Hermione quickly. Our letters said we just get instructions from the head boy and girl and then patrol the corridors from time to time.
Do we know who the head boy and girl are this year?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I bet you it's Eric Bunch's son.
Oh my God.
What's
Eric
his name?
Jr.
Uh,
Eric the Third. Eric Munch the Third.
Third.
So this kind of though is like the start of Harry getting to know his future wifey a little bit more, right?
Getting to know you. Getting to know all about you.
Harry stumbles his way to the back of the train with Hedwig in tow with Ginny to find an empty compartment. In the very last carriage, they met Neville. Harry's long 5th-year fellow.
Oh, I'm no longer alone in not being able to speak.
Oh man,
Harry's
it
long
is today.
5th year.
Harry's fellow 5th-year Gryffindor.
Why the long face?
Why the long face?
It's really like,
This keeps sliding off my
why
head.
are you so good looking?
His round face shining with the effort of pulling his trunk along and maintaining a one-handed grip on his struggling toad, Trevor. Hi, Harry, he panted. Hi, Ginny. Everywhere's full. I can't find a seat. What are you talking about? Said Ginny, who had squeezed past Neville to peer into the compartment behind him. There's room in this one. There's only Loony Lovegood in here.
Ugh,
It's Luna. Yes.
I don't like that they said
I
I
know.
know.
That's so not nice.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
Dude, what do you think happened to Trevor in 7?
Because
they were they were gonna
Nagini.
kill Neville. Do you think they killed Trevor?
No,
Wouldn't it
I
be
think he
sweet
hopped out.
If Trevor came out and he was the one that killed Nagini.
He's really an animagus.
But like,
You didn't know this, but
Maybe
there was
he
a
just
4th
stayed with his
marauder or
grandma.
5th marauder.
do you think they like let him go in the lake?
Maybe.
I think he did his own thing.
Or he
I bet
left
you-
him with his gran.
I bet you he's got toady little girlfriends all over the place, and that's who he's going to visit when he's hopping off away from Neville.
Toady girlfriend.
Or
Oh
a
my
boyfriend, I don't
God.
know.
I'm uncomfortable.
Toady SOs.
Yeah, he's got some significant others around the castle. He's a ladies' man and a man's man.
S.O.s?
Yeah.
Yeah, significant others.
That's a
Significant
thing?
others. Yeah.
Who says this?
Everybody.
Katie does. That's me.
Okay, that's all that matters.
So some background. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of background on Luna because we're obviously going to do Felix Files on her, and we've got a lot more chapters to discuss her. But her birthday is the 13th of February.
Belated.
We know that she's either pureblood or half-blood, but we're not sure which. She's
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
We
matter.
love her anyways.
She's also known as Loony Lovegood.
Ugh.
Lame. Name calling isn't cool.
Nope.
Correct. So she is the only child and daughter of Xenophilius and Pandora Lovegood.
Pandora.
Don't open that box.
You owe me like 3 Cokes.
You owe me 3 Cokes.
Nope. I've said it every time.
Her mother accidentally died while experimenting with spells when Luna was 9. And Luna was raised by her father, editor of the magazine The Quibbler, in a rook-like house near the village of Ottery St. Catchpole in Devon. She's a Ravenclaw.
It's Devon.
Is it really?
No.
I was like, no, it's not.
Is it really?
Oh
Devon.
my gosh. She's an important member of Dumbledore's army, and she does participate in the Battle of the Department of Ministry. Oh my God. The Battle of the Department of Mysteries, the Battle of the Astronomy Tower, and co-led the reconstituted Dumbledore's army when Hogwarts fell under the control of Lord Voldemort.
How did they reconstitute it? Were they
In
dehydrated?
this together.
You guys shouldn't be touching hands.
Where's the sanitizer?
Just rubbed together.
I totally have some if you guys are really want some. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust
Continue
her.
reading.
She's
I
nasty.
don't trust Tiffany. She's gross.
You work with
so
small children.
reading from the chapter, just the description
It's
of
things I
our
love
girl,
to do.
our girl Luna. The girl beside the window looked up. She had straggly waist length, dirty blonde hair.
Straggly.
That's what it
I
says.
don't like the term. Like that just makes me think like
She
you
didn't
need a haircut.
Did she have that in the movie?
No,
She had
her hair
really
was
long
but I
hair.
It
would
was
say
long, but
straggly.
it wasn't. So it was pretty straight.
Yeah.
No, but
no, it was
Xenophilius
curly.
straggly. But
Was it?
It was
Straggly.
wavy.
Straggly to me is not curly hair. Straggly to you guys is curly hair.
I said
No.
straight.
I know.
Oh.
That's
She
what I'm
No,
saying.
but like with some kind of a.
I see.
through it.
I just think straggly hair is like hair that needs to be like
Unhealthy.
probably combed
Washed.
and cut. But she had beautiful. I mean, she had. I shouldn't say she had.
Ooh,
she has
do
beautiful.
you know
hair.
what? I bet she describes it as that. So if you say it probably needs combed and cut, it's because doesn't her dad talk about like not?
Knowing how to.
Yeah,
Well, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I mean, Marty can't put Alana's hair up in a pony. Not saying men can't
He'll
do
be
that,
able to,
but like,
eventually.
I just don't know if like maybe her mom did all of that. And
But it's
so-
also like most guys and some women too. Like Tiffany, we were talking about braiding hair. This is a little bit of a
Oh,
segue.
yeah.
Like, I didn't know, like, my mom could French braid my hair, but I literally couldn't even, like, going into hair school when I went, like, none of my teachers knew how to, like, braid, like, on the scalp. Like, I could do, like, a standalone, like, braid that's not on the scalp, but I had to teach myself, so it's not great. But, like, those are things, like, I've always put my hair in a ponytail since I was a kid, so, like, that's just something I always knew. Like, if a guy never had hair long enough, or even if he didn't put his hair in a ponytail, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so back to the chapter. Very pale eyebrows and protuberant eyes that gave her a permanently surprised look, which, let me say, Ivana did a great job at this.
Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
She
she walk
literally
into her
eats, breathes,
audition
and lives Luna.
and be like, "I am Luna"?
Yeah.
Didn't she
She
do
had those
something like
earrings.
this?
Yeah,
The
she like
radishes?
made her earrings. Yeah.
Do you think they moved? I don't remember if they're described like that, but in my mind, like, her earrings move, like,
I don't know.
themselves. I think that'd be a really cool
Oh, that'd be
wizarding
cool.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, what if you had snake earrings and they just slithered around your ear?
That'd be awesome, as long as it wasn't real.
Well, no, it's just like a piece of metal that, like,
Okay, yeah, I'd be down with that, but I don't need a real one. I don't want to look at a real snake. I don't ever want to see one, ever.
okay.
It's rude to snakes everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
care.
going to come and get you.
Harry knew.
Slithering in.
Harry knew. Harry knew. At
Wait,
once
did Harry know?
why Neville had chosen to pass this compartment by.
Harry.
The girl gave off an aura of distinct dottiness. Perhaps it was the fact that she had stuck her wand behind her left ear for safekeeping, or that she had chosen to wear a necklace of butterbeer caps, or that she was reading a magazine upside down. Her eyes ranged over Neville and came to rest on Harry. She nodded. So she was reading her upside down copy of The Quibbler.
But what's the Quibbler?
What's The Quibbler? It's her dad's magazine.
Oh, okay.
The Quibbler, marketed as the wizarding world's alternative voice, is a wizarding tabloid published and edited by Xenophilius Lovegood, father of Luna. Luna gets every issue of The Quibbler when it's published, which could contribute to her often odd beliefs. The Quibbler publishes odd articles, including conspiracy theories and discussions of imaginary creatures. It also published Rita Skeeter's interview of Harry Potter on Lord Voldemort's return. Many think The Quibbler is rubbish, including Hermione Granger, Rita Skeeter, and Dirk Cresswell, the latter referred to it as a lunatic rag. And when Hermione informed Rita that she would be publishing the interview in The Quibbler, Rita looked at Hermione with disdain.
Rena.
And it was started in the 1980s. So that is that.
So was I.
Oh, same.
Okay, another little read from chapter. She did not seem to need to blink as much as normal humans. She stared and stared at Harry, who had taken the seat opposite her and now wished he had not.
Oh.
Think of how uncomfortable that is.
Oh,
yeah,
bananas
just staring
uncomfortable.
at you.
Had a good summer, Harry?
Yep.
Actually, it was, had a good summer, Luna? Ginny asked. Yes,
staring
said Luna dreamily, without taking her eyes off Harry. Yes, it was quite enjoyable, you know. You're Harry Potter, she added.
So that's like you talking to me, and I'm like, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and be like, you're a Tiffany O'Malley.
I had when I was in grade school, I had this kid that I went to school with who, like, we shared a cousin, and every single time I'd see him, he's like, "Hey, you're so and so's cousin." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm his cousin too." I'm like, "Yeah, we have this conversation." Like, and then I think he just did it on purpose after that because I was like, "We both know that we share a cousin."
It's just so weird to hear that you share a cousin.
Well, like he's
He's
related
mine on
the
Mondays.
mom's side. No, mom.
Yours.
He's related to him on the mom's side, and I think I'm related to him on the dad's side. Who knows? We're all Irish Catholics in Cleveland. You're related or you know someone, you know?
Sure.
All right. I know I am, said Harry. Neville chuckled. Luna turned her pale eyes upon him instead. And I don't know who you are. I'm nobody, said Neville hurriedly.
Aw, Neville.
I know. No, you're not, said Ginny sharply. Neville Longbottom, Luna Lovegood. Luna's in my year, but in Ravenclaw. Wit beyond measure is man's greatest treasure, said Luna in a sing-song voice. She raised her upside-down magazine high enough to hide her face and fell silent. Harry and Neville looked at each other with their eyebrows raised, and Ginny suppressed a giggle. I'm really glad that they actually become, like, good friends, though, you know?
Yes.
Like, this isn't... It's not a bad first meeting, but it's not, like, a super good first meeting.
It's just awkward.
It's just awkward. So Neville introduces them then to his new birthday present, the Mimbulus Mimbletonia. And he is so excited about them and tells them about how rare it is. And
Harry, he's like, does it do anything?
It's a plant, dude. What do you want?
so the
Yeah, it gives us oxygen and takes away carbon dioxide. Thanks.
Jeez.
Photosynthesis is great, man.
is that from Napoleon Dynamite?
No, I literally just said some words.
Doesn't SpongeBob have that?
Sounded like Napoleon Dynamite.
I've never completely seen that movie.
Napoleon Dynamite. Well, Sarah's photosynthesis.
But lips hurt real bad.
Gosh.
I've never seen that movie in its entirety.
What?
Oh,
I don't. I've watched part of it, and I didn't find.
Oh
it very
gosh,
funny.
I think it's hilarious.
eat your hair.
It's weird, but it's funny.
Tina. All right. The Mimbulus Mimbletonia is a very...
Send it 5 times fast.
No.
Do it.
Is a very rare magical plant surmised to be originated in Assyria. Mimbulus Mimbletonia, Mimbulus Mimbletonia, Mimbulus Mimbletonia, Mimbulus Mimbletonia, Mimbulus Mimbletonia, Mimbulus Mimbletonia. It is most notable for its pulsating and squirming nature and its unique defense mechanism. When prodded, stink sap is squirted out from the boils on the surface of the plant.
Same here.
Stink sap is a non-poisonous liquid and is described as dark green and smelling like rancid manure.
Mine is poisonous though, so don't touch me without my consent.
After receiving one of them as a gift in the summer of 95, Neville demonstrates its defense mechanism for Harry on the Hogwarts Express, accidentally covering the compartment and the people in it with stink sap.
The summer of 95.
It says by the end of the school year, he discovered that further on in the plant's development, it makes odd crooning noises when touched.
Like a purr, or is it like singing like Frank Sinatra?
I hope it's singing Frank Sinatra. New York, New York.
Oh.
it's like a little Groot.
How does that witch song go that you guys almost danced to?
Oh.
Those fingers in my
Oh, we did dance to it. Just
We
not
did,
as
just not
our
as
our
version.
first dance.
Yeah. Witchcraft.
That strips my conscience bare. It's witchcraft. And I've got no defense for it.
Can we talk about that
song.
Michael Bublé is like really good singer too?
He's
Can
the
you
best.
talk about how you
He
can't
sounds
compare
just
Old Blue Eyes
like
with Chairman of
Frank Sinatra?
Get the
I
You
think
understand
so.
though? Like I think he genuinely does sound like they've got a
He
similar.
does.
very much.
They are very
Look
similar.
at Tiffany loves Frank Sinatra.
I know, I
My
like
grandmother
him too.
loved Frank Sinatra. Hated Michael Bublé.
Okay, listen. I
Listen.
like Michael. I'm Michael Bublé. I don't mind him. I think he's just fine. You can't compare people to the chairman of the board.
I think Bubble sounds more like Sinatra than Sinatra. I'm totally joking. I'm totally joking. I swear I'm joking.
My mom met Frank Sinatra.
What? The jealousy
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool.
So, yeah, there's stink sap everywhere, and then someone walks in.
That just means I'm 1 degree away from him.
You are.
So are you. That's pretty amazing.
Oh, I just got excited.
That's pretty amazing.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Are you
Katie.
ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat?
Oh, okay.
We went 2 different ways.
Are you ready for this?
Just then, who walks in? It's Joe.
Loincloth.
What if that happened?
Oh gosh.
So Cho comes in and she's like, bad time, just covered in stink sap.
I love that she says that. That's pretty funny.
But no, she does sound nervous, which is kind of cute because she's crushing on little Harry Potter.
Harry.
As quick as she's there, she's like, I thought I'd just say hi, and she leaves.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's awkward turtle. There's so many awkward turtles on this train.
Yes. Yeah. So Harry is not pleased. He thinks that he wants Cho to find him sitting with a group of very cool people who are laughing at a joke he had just
That's
told.
hilarious.
This is such a you see this all
Such
the
a
time in like
teen
movies or
Yeah.
shows where it's like, here, tell me something funny or pretend to laugh at my joke. And then they're like, ah. And then like their crush comes
Oh
up.
my gosh, in Family Guy, where he tells like that awful joke, and she's like, "I like jokes."
Is that what that's from?
Yes.
135 episodes. Which I have to say, Harry, come on. Neville and Luna are Bob's apron. They just are. You don't know it yet.
Yeah.
But they are. Also notice that he doesn't talk about Ginny at all. He doesn't think that she's not cool.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And she cleans them up with a quick Scourgify, so all that stink sap is gone.
Where does it go?
Yeah, where does
you
a Scourgify
Scourgify
thing
something?
go?
Into
Remember
nothing,
that one
guy's
which is
house?
to say everything.
From the Halloween town?
Oh yeah, that's where it goes.
He's got a lot of filthy stuff in his house then. A lot of stink sap. So.
He just has a room of stink sap. It turns into the gelatinous cube
What's that?
from Onward.
From Onward.
So Ron and Hermione don't show up for almost an hour. And Ron, of course, he's starving. He should have been a puff.
Poor Wan Wan.
As in a Very Potter musical where he's always eating something in every scene he's in.
I just love that like most of their budget went towards that chocolate bar.
Yeah. I know. So Hermione explains that there are 2 fifth-year prefects from each house, a boy and girl from each. And guess who's the Slytherin prefect? Malfoy.
So
Like, let's talk about
interesting.
someone who does not deserve to be a prefect.
Preach it.
And like Dumbledore knows that, yet he still gave it to him.
But I wonder
does
if he
he
had-
give it to them?
But I think that, like, I think it's not just Dumbledore picking. I
it's
think
gotta
the
be
group-
Snape.
And yes, and
Yeah.
I think that not only did Snape say it, but I bet you that some palms were greased.
Oh.
Lucius giving
Oh.
money.
Well, he has to keep up his appearances with being a Death Eater too. So, if he's not catering to Death Eater's children, it's gonna look weird.
Yes.
True.
You guys
Chat
should
is
see
on
the Discord
fire.
chat right now. It's
We need to
so
watch a Harry
good.
Potter musical.
It's so good. Did someone say Draco Malfoy?
So Hermione says, this is Hermione. And so after she says that Malfoy is the prefect from Slytherin, she goes, and that complete cow, Pansy Parkinson, how she got to be a prefect when she's thicker than a concussed troll. Like, whoo!
Sheesh,
Hermione. Oh my goodness.
Do you think she's jealous because she likes Draco?
Is Pansy Parkinson's parents part of the Death Eaters?
I don't think that we know that.
I don't know if we know that.
Okay. Not saying every Slytherin's parent has to be.
No, but I feel like she would be the type, you know?
Well, concussed trolls, you know.
Pansy
bad.
Parkinson, the actress, is Prego.
Yeah, do you know who her father-in-law is?
Yeah, Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. She
That's
married a son.
crazy.
His name is Cooper.
Yeah, she married a Hefner.
That's crazy. Anyway, after that mind-blowing moment,
Yeah.
we find out that the Hufflepuff prefects are Ernie Mac,
Ernie Mac.
and he's basically, the,
basically
best, and Hannah Abbott. It's me. I'm Hannah. And Ravenclaws are Anthony Goldstein and Padma Patil.
Queenie's son?
I don't think the.
Grandson?
I think they said it might be like a distant relative.
Well, I want it to be a real relative.
I mean, I don't know. I don't, you know, hold on. Words are hard to come by. I don't know if we know that for sure. Also, things change in the Potter universe daily.
Truth.
Every minute, something's different.
Truth.
Shout out to the one Jewish person at Hogwarts, Anthony Goldstein.
Do we know for a fact that he's Jewish, or are you
Yes.
just banking on his last name?
No, it's confirmed that he's Jewish
Okay.
by Joe. You know, in one of her Twitter rants. So,
Let me go back and add that these people are these things so I can have diversity.
yeah.
Truth.
Oh, Anthony Goldstein, yeah, he's Jewish.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, Dumbledore, he's gay. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Luna, out of nowhere, she's like, "You went to the Yule Ball with Padma Patil," and Harry's like, "Yeah, I know I did." And Luna goes, "She didn't enjoy it very much. She doesn't think you treated her very well because you wouldn't dance with her. I don't think I'd have minded. I don't like dancing much."
This just reminds me of me as a kid being very vocal, being like not knowing when to like, not saying like I think she's fine, but like for me, like I didn't know when to like shut my mouth. Like we had a cousin that would come over when I was a kid that like was supposed to like clean her house every once in a while. Like my mom would pay her, but this woman is notoriously late. And when I say late, I mean like hours late. Hours late. So like she would supposed to be at our house at like 8 o'clock in the morning, wouldn't get there till like 5:30.
Whoa.
Yeah. Super nice, just is never on time for anything. And I literally told her the one time, my mom doesn't like it that you're late all the time. And like when certain people go over, because I'm a super honest person, my mom would be like, can you not say anything? Like I remember once when she was getting her license renewed and they asked her if she'd ever lived out of state, and she's like, no. I go, but what about that Tommy lived in Maryland?
Oh my gosh.
You're one of those kids.
They didn't do anything, but we get in the car. My mom was so mad. She's like, don't say anything. We didn't live there for that long. It was about a year, maybe less than a year, maybe. I don't know.
I love that Luna's just straightforward like that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she just says whatever pops into her mind, but it's not bad. Like, I think Harry should be told that, he really didn't treat her well. Ron does not know how to react to Luna at all. And Ginny just keeps trying not to laugh, which I feel bad because, like, I know Luna's weird, but, like, she's a good weird.
Yeah.
She's eccentric. She's just a different.
Yeah.
She just approaches life differently.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
She's a little, she's just different than they are. And I don't think Harry's really quite met someone like her.
Right.
She's very much an individual. And I think, like, once you, like, it's one of those people, like, it's almost jarring when you meet someone that's just so completely different than you are. And then once you really get to know them and, like, you're their friend, you're like, God, they're just so cool. Because later on, he, like, appreciates her for exactly who she is.
Yeah.
And I like that about.
Yeah.
She's just a cool kid.
Just get to know people. So Ron and Hermione are supposed to patrol the corridors every so often. And Ron says he can't wait to nail Crabbe and Goyle for something. And Hermione's like, you're not supposed to abuse your position. Ron's like, yeah, okay, because Malfoy won't, right? And he says he's going to make Goyle... Yeah, he's going to make Goyle do lines. And he, like, imitates him and says, I must not look like a baboon's backside. So everyone laughs, right? Because it's funny. But Luna, she laughed so much that she upset Hedwig. She upset Crookshanks. And she was literally in tears. And I really love this moment because it's like we've all had this where... So everyone's laughing at Ron's joke, but then they're laughing at the look on his face because he doesn't know how to react to Luna, and they're laughing at the fact that Luna's laughing ridiculously at this thing that was like kind of funny, but not like that funny.
There are times where I've said that, and Megan's laughing so hard she's crying, and I was like, whatever I said was not that funny, and she's like, no, but it really was.
I've done that, laughing until you're crying. But and then
I do that all
also
the time.
we get in these moods, all of us, where we like can't stop laughing about that one thing. Like when you just keep thinking about it, and it keeps being just it's funny.
And then you laugh because you're laughing, and then you just don't even know what you're laughing about anymore. But you got the giggles.
I laugh till I cry a lot. Like I remember in high school, I did it so much where like, and even it happens to me now. Like I'll be laughing so hard I'm crying, but then I can't breathe, so then I'm crying even harder.
Because now you're sad.
I'm like, I gotta like stop and like be able to take a breath.
So Ron says, are you taking the Mickey? And he kind of frowns at her. And I had to look this up because I kind of knew. I had, but I kept forgetting like exactly the meaning. So
it means Mickey Mouse.
Oh, right.
You're taking my mouse?
Duh. So for anyone who doesn't know what that means, it's an expression meaning to mock, tease, joke, ridicule, or scoff. So taking the Mick or taking the Michael is just another way of saying, are you making fun of me?
I wonder why Michael.
Yeah, I don't know. That was Google, so...
My dad's name is Michael.
Okay, Google.
I laugh at him all the time. He's the best.
He is. So Luna, from laughing, drops her quibbler, but something from it caught Harry's eye, so he snatched it up, and there's a bad cartoon of Fudge on the front, and an article that says, how far will Fudge go to gain Gringotts? And he realizes that this is the same magazine that Kingsley gave to Mr. Weasley to give to Sirius. So he flips through it, and he finds another bad cartoon, and it's Sirius standing on a pile of human bones with his wand out. And I'm just going to read a little bit from that article because it's a hoot, that's for sure.
Is it 2 hoots?
All right, so
And the holler.
it's titled Sirius, Black as He's Painted, Notorious Mass Murderer, or Innocent Singing Sensation.
I vote the latter.
For 14 years, Sirius Black has been believed guilty of the mass murder of 12 innocent muggles and 1 wizard. Black's audacious escape... Audacious? escape from Azkaban 2 years ago has led to the widest manhunt ever conducted by the Ministry of Magic. None of us have ever questioned that he deserves to be recaptured and handed back to the Dementors. But does he? Startling new evidence has recently come to light that Sirius Black may not have committed the crimes for which he was sent to Azkaban. In fact, says Doris Purkis of 18 Acanthia Way, Little Norton, Black may not have even been present at the killings. So she goes on to say that he's actually the lead singer of the popular singing group, the Hobgoblins. Because why not? So then Harry flips more, and he finds an article about Fudge, and about how he's trying to take over Gringotts. And there's a quote in there about, it says, "It wouldn't be the first time either," said a Ministry insider. "Cornelius Goblin Crusher Fudge." That's what his friends call him.
He has no friends.
Guaranteed.
And he also claims that he has all these goblins done in. He's had them drowned and dropped off buildings and cooked into pies. And that's when Harry's like, "Oh, okay, something's off with this magazine. Fudge has his faults, but I really can't imagine him cooking goblins into pies." I think we mentioned Sweeney Todd earlier. Here you go again. Some more articles are...
Pies in London. Ugh. With the price of meat, what it is, when you get it, if you get it.
Ugh. So
good you got it.
Have a little priest. So apparently the Touch Hill Tornadoes are winning.
Have a little goblin.
Are winning their
You
games
can get it.
by blackmail, illegal broom tampering, and torture. There's a wizard who claimed he flew to the moon on a clean sweep 6. And there's an article on ancient runes.
Was it in 1969?
Wait, what did he bring back?
They
What did he
flew to
bring
the
back?
moon.
Moon frogs.
Moon frogs!
And there's an article on ancient runes, which is why she was reading the Quibbler upside down. And it gives you a spell to turn your enemy's ears into kumquats.
That's great.
Because why not? That's better than Serpent Sorcia. No. Not Serpent Sorcia.
Okay.
What's the other one?
I don't know.
What is it?
Snake wizards.
Sectum Sempra.
Thank you.
Maybe Trevor went to the moon to live with the moon frogs.
I love that.
Some toads with some frogs, man.
I love that. So after reading all these articles, Harry's like, yeah, Sirius being the singer of the Hobgoblins, that seems pretty sensible. So, yeah.
Sure.
So Ron's like, hey, is there anything good in there? And Hermione's like, of course not. That's the Quibbler. It's rubbish. Everyone knows that. And here goes Luna. She's
She
like,
is like on a roll, dude.
I know. She's like, excuse me. My father's the editor. And she's like, all business now.
Has that ever happened to you?
Oh,
Yes.
God. I'm
Okay,
sure it has.
so Marty and I were going to my aunt's house. We had just started dating, and they were in Toledo. And so we pull into their neighborhood, and he goes, you know what I really don't like? He's like, I don't like those houses that have some brick on them, and then the rest is siding. He's like, I think that's so stupid. And I didn't say anything, and I was like, turn there, and he goes, your aunt's house has some brick and then a lot of siding.
Well, like
His face was so red.
I remember talking about an individual I've known for my entire life that was doing something illegal, and I got in my cousin's car and I was like, I heard this guy's doing this, and I did not know that the woman next to my cousin in the car was his sister-in-law.
I remember this.
But it's also happened where because most of my family works in healthcare, and a lot of them have worked in the same building. So this is years ago. I might have been in grade school or high school. And my aunt and my mom were working at the same place, and my mom was a director at the time. And someone was talking about her in the elevator, and my aunt turned around, and she's like, that's my sister. And they were like, oh my God. They were not being nice to my mom, which is she's literally the nicest woman. It's typically people that don't do their jobs. They don't like my mom because
Yep. Because she
she's
invites them to be successful elsewhere.
She's my mom is very much she's a great employer and employee because all she expects of you is to do your job.
Yeah.
And some people don't like that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like to work. And I don't get it.
I hate working.
I mean,
but you
I
do
can
your job.
understand. But
You know what I mean?
I just remember my aunt had to turn around and she's like, that's my, I know her.
Awkward.
Yeah.
There's another turtle in here.
There's a lot of turtles.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, Luna is she's not very happy with that. So she coldly takes her magazine back and disappears behind it, and Hermione's a little embarrassed, but we've all been there. You're gonna be friends later. Let's just move on. Sarah, that's blue.
I'm going to blue you guys away. Malfoy man.
Am
Am I right? So him and his cronies, they've shown up. They're at a party.
Show up, show up.
So they're now in the compartment. And he totally, they're basically there to rub it in his face. Malfoy's got the cool P badge. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Veggie.
And Harry has nothing but a scar that hurts him sometimes.
Oh my lord.
He is basically admitting that he is going to abuse his power.
Did we think that he wouldn't?
I mean, so can we talk about who really doesn't deserve to be a prefect?
Yeah.
It's this guy. Because
He also doesn't deserve to be in the Inquisitorial Squad later
I mean, he
on.
does. Like, that's very much so.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
Umbridge's thing.
I'm joking.
Oh.
We're not there yet.
Got it.
Elaine Prince heads it. I mean Eileen. Is it Elaine or Eileen?
You said Eileen.
That's my moment. There you go. It
What's her
happens.
name?
What did you call her?
I don't
Sorry.
remember.
I thought you said Eileen Prince.
No, she said Elaine.
I said Elaine.
Oh, whatever. I knew what you meant. And
Shut
I giggled.
up.
Um,
From Seinfeld. I wasn't telling anybody to shut up. It's Eileen.
like, we
Come
know that
on,
Ron
Eileen.
wouldn't do this. Like, Ron would be more, like, he's a helpful guy. Is he gonna, like, crack down on Malfoy and his cronies? Yeah, they deserve it because they're evil Slytherins and all Slytherins are evil. We know this.
Sir Cannon back.
You can't even get through without laughing.
Well, we know those people aren't great. Those being Malfoy and his friends.
I'm the best.
What did you say last
I'm basically
night?
the best.
But I'm basically the best one.
No, what did you say last night?
I don't remember.
Something.
Just
Just keep going.
You said something last night.
No, it was really funny. It was such a Megan thing.
It was about being a Slytherin.
Probably.
We're the best.
When are you never not hissing,
I literally can't see my notes because my contacts are blurry.
Same. Mine are. I've magnetized mine. So big.
I just had to magnetize mine. Look at that.
Oh my
Look,
god.
this is how big mine are. I can't see nothing.
I didn't see anything you just tried
Do
to
they?
show me.
Well, I was trying to show her, and then she leaned back. Anyways, moving on.
So he basically is like to Harry, how does it feel being second best to Ron, man? And it seems to hit a nerve. So then he hits some more nerves saying, well, just watch yourself, Potter. Because I'll be dogging your footsteps in case you step out of line. And dogging is the word that's italicized in the chapter.
He's such a stinker.
So this is like Hermione gets up. She loses her cool. Tells them, not in a very nice way, to get out. And slams the door after they leave. And then she and Harry exchange a look about, basically what Malfoy said. What Malfoy had just said. And Harry really isn't able to speak openly in the compartment because Luna and Neville are there. And Ginny, kind of. She's not really in the loop.
But Ginny knows about Sirius.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But they're not on that level yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least she knows about him,
True.
And so that means he's going to stare out of the window dejectedly, worrying. Because he can't talk about what that comment meant. So basically, does Malfoy know that big dog was actually serious? Was he just using a figment of speech or just saying it as a coincidence? And he's now thinking that Sirius coming along had been dangerous and not worth it at all. He shouldn't have come. So then the rest of the journey towards Hogwarts, it held odd weather. It rained some, there was some sun, there were some clouds.
It's like Ohio.
Yeah, all in one day. That's what you get in Ohio. Luna stopped reading the Quibbler when it got dark outside, and then she put it away and started to continue to stare at everyone in the compartment. Harry kept looking out the window, so we could kind of see the first signs of Hogwarts. Yes, why are you laughing?
Because the way you said figment of speech didn't make sense to me. Did you mean figure of speech?
Maybe.
Figment of his imagination and figure of speech? Because I read that and I was like, what does that mean? I think you just mixed them up. So I Googled, what does figment of speech mean? Because I thought that I didn't know something. But it doesn't mean anything.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
A figure of speech
A figure of
because
speech.
of a figment of his imagination.
That's funny.
So going back,
forward.
it's a figure of speech.
There we go.
So he's looking out the window to see if he could see Hogwarts.
I was like, what are you gonna tell her the secret?
Hermione then is like, "Oh, we all better get dressed." So her and Ron put on their cool new badges. So then Hermione leave to help with the first years getting to the boats and other students to the carriages. And they leave Crookshanks and Pig with Harry and Ginny while they go and do their prefect duty so someone can watch their pets. And then Luna offers to help carry Pig for Harry. And they shovel their way out towards the carriages. So then I'm going to read this from the book.
Ooh, I like this.
Harry could smell the pine trees that lined the path down to the lake. He stepped down onto the platform and looked around, listening for the familiar call of "First year's over here, first year's here." That's not a great Hagrid.
First years.
There you go.
First years over here.
First years.
But it didn't come. So Harry looks, and instead of seeing Hagrid guiding the new students, he sees Professor Grubbly Plank. And she's described as a witch with a prominent chin and a severe haircut.
Does that mean like a bad haircut or just like
I
a
think it's
real...
I think it's just like when you
Spiky.
see
Like a
it's probably like
straight line.
It reminds me of Madam Hooch.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Madam Hooch.
Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon.
So I wanted to read a little bit about Grubbly Plank, who we do see in the movies in the background. So she's a British witch, obviously, who worked as a substitute for care of magical creatures at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. She was first met by Harry Potter's batch in 1994, taking over lessons when Hagrid was unable to teach. She taught the class again and part of the next year when Hagrid was away on a mission for Sir Albus Dumbledore.
Sir Albus Dumbledore. Sir Albus.
He was been knighted.
And this talks about all this stuff. She must have been she's a competent teacher, basically. And I remember people really liked her. Students liked her last year when we see her as a substitute.
Yeah.
And she passes Umbridge's inspection without,
Yeah.
incident.
I mean, she's a good teacher.
Yeah. It says on here, she always seemed level-headed, cheerful, and efficient, and claimed to be very happy with the way Dumbledore governed Hogwarts. She also appeared to be kind-hearted and caring towards her students as she helped nurse Harry's pet owl, Hedwig, back to health after she was injured, showing her respect for animal life forms. And basically, we know that a lot of people preferred her over Hagrid, and we all know that they're wrong.
Wronger than wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Scroots.
And then, because I was reading...
They're thriving.
I was reading stuff on the Wikia, and part of it is from the Lego game, which I was like, nah, I don't like that. When they have canon, so
What's more
Oh,
canon,
yeah.
the Lego game or that
J.K.
wizarding
Rowling
app?
Wizards
Unite.
Dude, Lego. Lego.
J.K. Rowling's tweets.
Is that what you said?
Is it on a napkin? Then it ain't canon.
That's what I said last night. Hey, etymology of her.
I didn't look at it.
I just looked it up because I was like, I wonder where she got this from. So, Wilhelmina means a great protector, feminine of the Dutch-German name Wilhelm, and grubby means dirty. A good care of magical creatures teacher would be all about protecting animals and not bothered by a bit of dirt either. So that is from the Harry Potter lexicon. I thought that was pretty cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
Tis
cool.
super cool.
Super cool.
So Harry wonders out loud, where Hagrid is. Where's Hagrid? Can't miss him. And then while trying to get where they need to go, Harry and Ginny get separated, except I spelled that incorrectly.
I fixed it.
Leaving the train. And another kind of quote from the book, it says, jostled by the crowd, Harry squinted through the darkness for a glimpse of Hagrid. He had to be there. Harry had been relying on it. Seeing Hagrid again had been one of the things to which he had been looking forward most. But there was no sign of him at all. And I was like, as you can see, this is really upsetting to Harry, who's had a whirlwind of the last few months. So from end of June to now September 1st, it's just been a lot of emotion. You know what I mean? Like Cedric dying, all of these things happening. Then he goes home and he gets no word at all.
Yeah.
Then the Dementors come, attack. Now he's getting expelled from Hogwarts. They're going to get his wand. And then all of a sudden it's like, don't do anything. And then he finds out all this other information. And then like Dumbledore won't talk to him. All these things. So like he's really just looking forward to, and he does this every year where he's looking forward to going back to Hogwarts, and he's looking forward to going back to that routine of like being where he is
Home.
And where he knows his people are there.
Somewhere where everybody knows your name.
And so he's looking for that routine and that safety blanket, basically, just to like be there somewhere where he knows he's safe and he's comfortable and he's happy. I mean, and then one of the very like the
50% safe.
True. Now, but like before, you know what I mean? And like Hagrid's like one of the very first, that's like the very first thing he knows of the Wizarding world. Like he came to get him, and that's like his very first face that he associates with wizards and stuff, you know?
I agree.
And now he's not there. And then I wonder if he's even just worried because he knows that he went on a mission for Dumbledore and now he's not back. And I said, hopefully my homeboy isn't in trouble or harm's way.
Only a little bit.
I mean,
Yes.
very
But like Harry doesn't
dangerous.
know what this mission entails. So he's hopefully he's like thinking like he's not hurt or anything. And we don't know right now. And so Harry stood by like, 100-ish carriages. They're ready to take students up the castle. So he's waiting for Ron and Hermione to get done with their duties, and he's basically also waiting for Ginny to find him. And he kind of looks at the horseless carriages for a moment, and then he does a double take. How does Sponge do it? 1, 2, 3.
down. Then you do this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
And then
Baboosh.
So I'm going to read again from the chapter. It says, the coaches were no longer horseless. There were creatures standing between the carriage shafts. If he had to give them a name, he supposed he would call them horses, though there was something reptilian about them too. They were completely fleshless, their black coats clinging to their skeletons, of which every bone was visible. Their heads were dragonish, their pupilless eyes white and staring. Wings sprouted from each wither, vast black leathery wings that looked as though they ought to belong to giant bats. Standing still and quiet in the gloom, the creatures looked eerie and sinister. And I said, fun fact, looked into my Fantastic Beast illustrated book. They're not in there.
what?
They're not?
They're not. I thought for sure that they would be, and they're not.
Newt.
Why?
But there is an article on Wizarding World from August 10th, 2015 called Thestrals. I won't read the whole thing, but it says manifesting as black skeleton, black bat-winged horses, but invisible to all who have never been truly touched by death. Thestrals have a somewhat macabre reputation. In centuries past, the sight of them was regarded as unlucky. They have been hunted and ill-treated for many years, their true nature, which is kindly and gentle, being widely misunderstood. Thestrals are not marks of ill omen, nor their spooky appearance notwithstanding, are they in any way threatening to humans, always allowing for the fright that the first sight of them tends to give the observer. And then it talks about being able to see Thestrals as a sign that the beholder has witnessed death and gained an emotional understanding of what death means. It is unsurprising that it took a long time for their significance to be properly understood, because the precise moment when such knowledge dawns varies greatly from person to person. I think this is just her covering her tush from Harry not being able to see them.
yeah,
at
but
the end of the
at
fourth
least
year.
it like makes sense. Though.
Yeah, I agree. Harry Potter was unable to see Thestrals for years after his mother was killed in front of him because he was barely out of babyhood. I almost said boyhood, when the murder happened. He had been unable to comprehend his own loss. Even after the death of Cedric Diggory, weeks elapsed before the full import of death's finality was borne upon him. That's an odd sentence.
Yeah.
Only at this point did the Thestrals that pull the carriages from Hogsmeade Station to Hogwarts Castle become visible to him. On the other hand, Luna Lovegood, who lost her own mother when she was young, saw Thestrals very soon afterwards because she is intuitive, spiritual, and unafraid of the afterlife. While somewhat intimidating in appearance, these carnivorous horses are emblematic. I don't know. I did not say that right. Emblematic? I don't know.
Emblematic.
Sure. Of a journey to another dimension, and reward all those who trust them with faithfulness and obedience. Thestrals are native to the British Isles and Ireland, though they have been spotted in parts of France and the Iberian Peninsula. They seem to have an association with wizards who descend from the horse-loving Celtic peoples. Other parts of the world have their own equivalent to Thestrals. I like the juxtaposition of them looking so, as you know, Harry's saying here, eerie and sinister, but we know that like they aren't.
Mm-hmm.
They're honestly they're quality ponies.
They're very sweet.
Yeah, I love juxtapositions like that where you don't think that like you don't think Hagrid's gonna be like this nice guy, like you know he's kind of scary looking, but he's just a big teddy bear.
Yep.
So then Ron comes up and he's like, "Dude, where's my pig?" Luna has him.
Dude, where's my pig?
It's a new hit movie, Ashton Kutcher.
Luna has him, and they both kind of wonder, Harry and Ron both wonder aloud. Like, Harry starts a sentence, and Ron finishes it for him. Young love.
They
about
finish
where
each other's sandwiches.
Oh.
where Hagrid could be. Where Hagrid? Then they see Malfoy and
Say
his
you here with the
Slytherin-
Giants.
with his Slytherin classmates pushing a second year. Let that sink in. Not nice.
Unkind.
And Hermione tells him that he had been mean to a first year. He's had the badge basically for a second, and he's already being a bigger bully than before. And then Ginny arrives. She's got Crookshanks. She seems, I guess, relieved to be giving the cat back to his mother. And then they go get a carriage, even though Ron's like, I don't have a pig yet. Wait.
Where my pig at?
Where you at? So Ginny and Hermione go get a carriage. And Harry decides to wait with Ron. So he's like asking him like what he thinks of the things that are suddenly pulling the carriages. And Ron's literally like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then Luna arrives. She's interrupting Harry and Ron having their conversation. So Ron, once he gets his bird back, he asks Harry, like, what were you talking about again?
He gets his bird back.
Give me that bird back, bird back, bird back.
I want that bird back, bird back, bird back. Head wig. Give me that bird back.
Okay. So
Okay, that was quality entertainment.
I'd give it a 63% quality.
Very specific.
And so he's asking Harry, like, what were we talking about again? And he's like, well, you know, those horse things. And Ron's like, literally no idea what he's talking about. And Harry's like, those horse things carrying or pulling the carriages. And I wanted to read from the chapter because there's just a lot of dialogue and it's better to be read than me typing it out and paraphrasing it. And he's like, it says, after all, about 3 feet away from the nearest one, it was watching them with empty white eyes. Ron, however, gave Harry a perplexed look. And let's be honest, Ron is used to Harry saying things and being like, there's a voice telling people it's going to kill. Like, whatever.
Why wouldn't he like take him seriously and listen to him?
But like at the same time, they all thought he was crazy then too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but like usually the things that happen to Harry are he's not making stuff up.
his head hurts, all right?
It's probably the Horcrux.
Agreed. It's the Horcrux manifesting into these eerie and sinister things. Voldemort is pulling these carriages. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about, look. Harry grabbed Ron's arm and wheeled him about so that he was face to face with the winged horse. Ron stared straight at it for a second, then looked back at Harry. What am I supposed to be looking at? Would he have run into them?
Yeah, can you
Like,
feel
do you feel it?
Can you feel it, Ron Weasley?
No.
Like the boatmobile?
I bet you can.
The invisible
Yeah.
boatmobile?
Can or can't?
I bet you cannot.
I don't think you can. I think you can only if you can see them.
Yeah.
I'll
Wait,
take
but
that.
they sit on them.
Oh,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
What if it's purposeful? Or are the
no, I think that he would run into them.
or are they like they're like, ooh, dodge.
I wonder if like What if you like accidentally like you have like flour in your hand because you were bringing it to Hogwarts to make a cake, and it cracks open, and the flour sprays on the thestral? Are you gonna see an outline?
Yeah, I bet.
No, my flower.
I bet you can.
Going back to the chapter.
Z chapter.
She's like, what am I supposed to be looking at? There, between the shafts, harnessed to the coach. He's right there in front. We don't know if it's a boy, Harry.
Hey,
But
Harry.
just as Ron continued to look bemused, a strange thought occurred to Harry. Can't you see them? See what? Can't you see what's...
See what? See what?
Can't you see what's pulling the carriages? Ron looked seriously alarmed now. Are you
Seriously.
feeling all right, Harry? Yeah. He basically was like feeling very bewildered. Because, he can see it.
See what?
See what?
He can see
Where's my pig?
basically.
They ain't no horses. Where's my pig?
Even like, he could see the vapor rising from its nostrils in the chilly night air. And he's like, yet unless Ron was faking it, and it was a very feeble joke if he was, Ron could not see it at all. And he's like, should we get in there now? Like, there's a feast happening shortly, and I'd like to be there for it.
He has literally no time to think about invisible horses when there's
He's all
food that
about
can
food.
be eaten.
So Ron gets into the garage, leaving Harry and Luna alone. And she basically is like, dude, you're not going mad. I could see him too. She's been able to see them since arriving her first year. We don't know why yet. We don't know what they are anyways. And they've always pulled the carriages. And she says the words that she's famous for. Don't worry. You're just as sane as I am. Then she climbs into the garage. Harry follows, not really reassured by her words.
Words.
Word.
Word is the bird. Bird. Bird is the word.
I thought the word is the bird.
I changed it.
Yeah, because you were wrong in the first place.
Tiffany, what is that face?
What is in this doc?
What was with that face?
I'm reading whatever this is.
I want to know, like, what's something that someone would consider dottiness that you do? I didn't finish my question. Is there something that you do? Do you know what dottiness is? That's why I put the noun.
I am not
Dottiness.
usually covered in dots.
The state
No,
of
the I'm
quality.
bargaining, like,
I know.
insane.
Dots.
Mildly crazy.
Mildly insane?
Like,
oh,
what's
yeah.
something? What's something that you do that someone would find like crazy odd?
Well, if they listen to this podcast,
Yeah.
they know
Yep.
that I'm crazy.
I meant like I sometimes like to hold my foot like a hand,
Ooh,
like
this
a
is-
lot.
This might not be super appropriate, but I can flip people off with my toes.
She can.
Well, I can't do anything with my feet like you guys. I don't know.
I'm not insane, so I'm perfect.
Okay.
The fact that you think you're perfect is your dottiness. No, I don't know. What do I do? I constantly want my back tickled. Is that weird?
Katie, tell me something that I do that's insane.
Everything.
Everything.
Oh, people would probably think we were quite dotty over how we talk to our cats.
Oh yeah,
I
that
think
is
that's
accurate.
normal.
I talk for Fozzie Bear. I
That's like,
also talk to
like
squirrels.
Kristoff
Yes.
and Sven.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I literally was gonna say that, but I was gonna call Kristoff
Like-
Sven like I'm Olaf.
There are some days where Iggy is just so cute. I'll go up to him and I'll be like, Iggy, do you know that you're the cattest cute in the entire
Yeah.
Did you know that you're the cutest cat in the entire world? And then I'll go up.
The cat is cute, man.
Did I say it again?
No, just the one time.
And welcome episode title.
But also,
the cat is cute.
Shrek is from Scott.
And then I'll go up to him and be like, aren't you just the cutest cat in the entire world? Look at your little teefies. And then I'll like go and I'll be like, I'm going to kiss you. And then I kiss his little, and I'm like, I'm going to kiss you with little kitty lips. And I kiss him. And
That
it's
is
really weird.
1000%
It's actually
accurate.
1000% accurate. That's exactly how I talk to him.
I've kissed dog lips. It's fine.
I don't
And then
have
I,
any
like-
animals.
And then I'll
so-
go like, oh, look at your little toe beans. And then I'll like tickle his little toes.
We'll
And then he
literally
like,
be like-
spreads his little toes out. And I'm like, oh, let me get in between the toe beans.
Kind of like how she holds her feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's me. I talk to my cat all the time. Mm-hmm.
I'll be like,
Oh, little Iggy Piggy. And then I call him Iggy the Piggy.
where my piggy?
I'm like, where's the piggy? And then he goes, meow. And I'm like, oh. That
cat is
sounded
cute.
really good,
That
didn't
was a
it?
really
That was
good
an
Iggy.
Iggy meow.
That could be. We got quality pooches, and the cat is cute. Could be the thing instead of quality felines or whatever.
Cat is cute.
The cat is cute.
The cat is cute.
The cat is cute.
The cat is cute.
I like that.
It's in it. You could sing it to the tune of "The Boy Is Mine." The cat is cute.
Except it's not the cat is cute. It's
Cute
the
as
cattest.
cat.
Oh, the
Cute.
cat is cute. Oh, I get it.
What?
I don't
That's
know
what you
that
said.
means.
I get it. No, I get it. Yeah, you're funny. Yeah. Actually, I'm funny.
If you want to believe that, you do you, boo.
Oh, I am.
Everyone's hilarious.
No, there was this. So this is just a funny story about my cats.
Oh God.
But one.
It was so catty cute.
Well, actually, it's just a funny story about me. So,
Jeez.
so one of my old professors from college was like, "Okay, let's set
You
the
shouldn't
scene."
say old. You should say former.
Former. Let's set the scene. You're running for president. The last thing you said when you left the house is your tagline. And mine was, "Bye, boys." Because I was saying goodbye to my cats. And I was like, oh my God, that's so perfect. Woman power.
That's
Mine
so
was
funny.
probably a Chicago lyric if we were doing that today because I was singing Chicago soundtrack whilst at my house before I left.
What?
What do you do? That's insane.
You definitely speak for fun.
Oh, you speak for Fozzie. That's right. We discussed it.
Oh, she speaks for Fozzie.
Do it. Do
Don't
a line.
talk to me and don't touch me.
And Fozzie will do like his little eyebrows too. It's
He's
perfect.
like-
And when he does that, he's like, I don't know.
Gotta do underdog. Underdog.
can't do it on cue.
Can you read some of these in Harriet or Florence or any other? Yeah, please do.
I can't. You can.
I can't read. Florence. I literally can't really see with these contacts in.
All
All
right.
right.
Lightning bolt round.
Go, kitty, go, kitty, go.
Do it
Sarah.
with an accent.
Let her just
say
read
this.
Not this, Sarah. So if Ron was talking to Harry before he even woke up, what else does he say when Harry's sleeping? Does he have a whole conversation or confessions to or at Harry's sleeping body?
Tells
He
him he's in love
probably
with
just
him.
doesn't even realize that Harry's asleep.
Hermione's
just
got nice
clueless.
skin.
Or
That's where his skin goes.
or we know Harry was having some dreams. Maybe Harry was talking to his, in his sleep and he just
True.
heard mumblings, and so he was just like talking to him, thought he was awake.
Do you remember Marty was telling us sometime years ago about you? He's like, yeah, Tiffany talks in his sleep or talks
Yeah.
in her sleep. He's like, sometimes I'll just like talk back to her.
Yeah. One time I told him that I wanted to cuddle the mice.
I just remember he said something about chicken the one time, and he was like adding words to it, and so then she like I think they were added into her dream because she was talking to him about it while
so
she was
funny.
sleeping.
Have you ever like you fall asleep? This is horrible. Like I'll be so tired, and I'll fall asleep like while we're talking, like laying in bed or something, and then I'll respond, but I won't know what the heck I'm talking about. But then I wake up and I was like, what sentence just came out of my mouth? Like it won't make any sense.
And I was like, yeah, I don't know. It was gibberish. But
It
you
happens
replied
to you
me.
too.
I've had it where like
Weird.
people have called me while I'm dead asleep, and I answer like certain people. I'll always answer the phone, and even like in high school, and I would have full blown conversations, and like I don't remember them. Like my boss used to at my old job before she retired. She was a good one for calling crazy and early in the morning. Like, say I had to work that day, and she was calling to like tell me like don't come in right away. Like I'm gonna give you some like we called it Y time. Because we just were low and we didn't need like me. But she would call it like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm asleep. And I have a full blown conversation with her. Then I'd go back to bed because I didn't have to be up yet. And then I'd be like, but wait, did I really have the conversation? Like, I don't know. And I do that now at my job because like if you're getting canceled for the first like 4 hours of your shift, they'll call you between like, I'd say 5 and 5:30. And I've had full blown conversations with them and I don't remember. Other people call me. They're like, "Well, why would you answer your phone? Were you sleeping?" And I was like, "No, I'm not sleeping." Oh yeah, but like I don't think I was sleeping. Like I think I was awake. Like I personally thought I was awake, but I really wasn't. And then, like I look back and like, oh no, I was definitely asleep. was like, yeah, I don't
I
know.
wake up talking sometimes. Like I woke up the other day saying like, I don't know, some word. But I was already like sitting up and like almost out of bed.
It's so weird.
And then I like awkwardly lay back down because I'm like, did Marty see that?
That's not happening to me, thank gosh.
Amy Lou Mary Sue says, follow up to that. How much do you think
It
Ron
actually
heard?
says Mary Koo.
I know, but I typed it wrong.
Oh.
How much do you think Ron heard Harry talking about Ginny in his sleep?
Oh.
Hey.
I don't think that he heard him that much. Because
would've-
I
he
feel
would've
like
been
Ron
more
would have
weird.
talked about it.
Yeah.
I don't think Ron would have.
Oh,
No?
I think so.
I think
No,
Ron
I think
would've
they
been
would-
like,
What are you dreaming about my
What were
sister
you
for?
saying?
I don't think he would. I think he would
Oh,
be like,
yeah.
this is real awkward and I don't want to have that conversation.
Oh, I don't know. I think Ron would confront him because he does kind of confront him when they start dating.
100%.
Yeah, but that's different than me talking about someone in my sleep. You guys, well, you really weren't in my dream
Ew,
last night.
Ginny, your red hair's so pretty. What if he said that?
Rhymes.
You know?
And then Ron's like, does he think my hair looks pretty?
Fingers crossed.
I am pretty. So pretty.
Move over, Hermione. I really want Harry.
Harry. Go to the next one.
Megan says, do you think that if students live further away, they travel by flu to the ministry and then go to the train?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
But again,
Possibly.
why do you have to? I mean, I would want to go on the train anyway.
Maybe there's flu networks at King's Cross that are hidden.
On the other side of
Maybe.
9 3/4,
Yeah,
like
maybe
not on the
there are
Muggle
other.
side.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's like
Because really, do you
7
have to be on the
3/4.
Muggle side?
Right. Like, why couldn't you just flew your way into the other side?
I wonder if you can just do it on the other side.
Probably.
Vinny asks if Sirius bit his tail in dog form. What is this bone?
It's the tailbone.
The coccyx.
Would his coccyx be sore after turning back to human?
Probably.
I
That's
would
like
say yeah.
the teacup.
Yeah.
Turn it into a bird.
100%.
Bird
He
turn
would,
back to the teacup.
He would definitely need a donut pillow to sit on after that.
Good.
Kelly asks if you could have magical earrings that could move, what would you want it to be and to do? For example, like a dancing cactus.
I would want a cat that like just curls up and sleeps and then wakes up
And
and then
stretches.
it curls up and sleeps.
Think about hanging off your ear, like just dangling.
Baby Groots dancing.
Oh, that'd be
Nice.
cute.
As much as I'm not a Slytherin, I would really like a pair of like snake earrings. Ooh, or even this is gonna sound. I'm not a Death Eater. I was gonna say Dementor, but like skulls would be pretty cool. Like what if
Chatter
like
in
it was in
their
a happy mood and it's winking at people?
mood
Its
earrings.
mouth going ah.
Maybe a dragon would be cool. It could breathe fire.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Like an ear cuff and it's hanging up on your upper ear.
Yeah.
And then like if you start getting mad, like it's gonna like that's how it gets its firepower. And then all of a sudden it's like, you're no, and then
Fire.
but it's
shoots
really
out.
not like a lot of fire. It's just like yeah, a wee bit.
Kelly asks if you had a story written about you in the Quibbler, what would you put into
Pies.
pies? What
My
would
enemies.
your nickname be?
The
Oh, what
tears
would you
of
put in
Sarah.
pies? Because they cook goblins. Got it.
Sarah the sufferer. The sandwich eater. I don't know.
What would I put into pies? I don't know. Pie filling. I don't want to eat anything weird.
Let's talk about
Oh, wait,
I
I'm
would
not
put
eating it.
Vegetables.
I put
what kind of
apples.
pie would you want to eat? What's your favorite kind of pie? Basically is what I'm asking you.
We've already
Apple
done
pear
this.
bourbon with a walnut crust from Rude Food.
I don't care for some of those things.
Oh,
I don't
I
like
would
walnuts.
want a crumble top apple pie.
It's called isn't it Dutch apple pie?
Dutch apple pie.
crumble top. I like that better.
I don't know. I like apple pie. I like cherry.
My nickname
Now
would be
what's like the worst food thing that could be in a pie for you? Not like
Sardines.
like dirty socks. Something that like
Cherries.
Raw shrimp.
I don't like cherry pie either.
It's gross.
I don't
face is
care for
gross.
cherries really. I'm not a big cherry
I like
fan.
real cherries, but I don't like cherry like
maraschino.
anything else.
I enjoy maraschino cherry. I don't want to eat more than one. And
French silk
cherries,
pie is
everything.
delicious.
I love a good French silk pie. I made one for Thanksgiving
Oh,
and it
I
was
like
real
lemon
good.
meringue pie
Never had a
too.
lemon meringue.
Mm-hmm, lemon meringue.
All right, so what is your worst kind of pie flavor?
Raw shrimp, man.
Is that a pie?
Sure. It is now.
If you, I mean, technically over in England they do like seafood pies and stuff, right? That's pretty
That just put
Fisherman's
raw
pie.
fish?
fisherman's pie.
That's the worst for me.
That's the worst for me. That's the
I don't know.
worst for me.
I've never had it. Would a rhubarb pie be bad?
no,
Oh, that's good.
Oh, well, all right.
Rhubarb strawberry.
I don't care.
Rhubarb.
Never had it, but I heard things and looked at them and they looked good.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
yummy.
know. I
A
don't
pizza
know.
pie.
What are some
kidding.
other pies?
Like anchovies on a pie probably would not be my thing.
Ew.
Sardines.
Ew.
Escargot pie.
Anything with
Snail
seafood.
pie.
Anything
Honestly, let's be 1,000% honest. Pepperoni and pineapple, no thank you. Take that pineapple off my pizza.
I don't mind it occasionally.
No.
All
does
right.
not belong.
Moving forward.
All right. Kelly asks, what song would you want Sirius to sing?
Hello, Dolly.
I'd want him to sing Witchcraft by
They
Frank
both
Sinatra.
reach for the gun. For the gun. The gun.
I'm going to go
Oh,
Lifestyles of the Rich and
Father
Famous
God.
by Good
Lifestyles
Charlotte.
of the Rich and Famous. Yeah.
I'm going to say Back to Black. Isn't that Amy? Oh, shoot. What's her name?
Winehouse?
Yeah.
What
Isn't
about
who
that
sings
song? Everything. What is it?
It's the
Everything's coming
eye of the tiger. It's the
serious.
thrill of the fight.
Oh, welcome to
Yes.
the Black Parade.
Yeah, that's good.
That'd be so good. Megan asks, if Malfoy was rubbing his badge in your face, how would you respond? I would
Slam
shove
Punch
it
him in the
his
face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Yes,
call
yeah, I'd
Eric,
give him a smack.
I'd
yeah?
call Eric Munch to punch him.
Eric Munch for a counterpunch.
I'd poke that Mimulus Mimbletonia plant and be like,
Oh, good one.
Tiffany, use stink
Stink
sap.
sap.
Ooh, you know what I would do? I would plant
A
rotting
plant.
fish in his dorm room. And
Ew.
so he can't see where it is. He doesn't know. And then it just smells constantly.
Would you pull a Todd Packer on a Michael Scott?
I don't
Wait,
know what
which
any
one?
of these things mean.
He
What
put
did he
something
do?
offensive
Oh,
in his
in his office. Oh my gosh, yes.
Ugh.
I read a book once where like they did
Todd
that
Packer's
where they put
the worst.
gosh, I don't know if it was like the fish on top of the car. They did something with like fish in this girl's car, like for whatever reason. This is not a true story. It's just a story, like a book I read. And like they couldn't find it. They ended up having to get like the car, like revamped completely, or like not throw out the car, but like something happened where like it didn't end well because the fish had been rotting in the sunlight for like days.
disgusting.
Do you want to
I mean,
say
that's some
what you
ruthless
left in your
stuff.
car?
What did you leave in your car?
A gallon of milk.
How long?
Oh, you don't
A
wanna
long
know.
time.
When?
Oh, it was like 2 cars before the one that I have now.
Did it make your car smell?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it was nauseating.
Do you remember that? Wow, you kept thinking your car smelled like dog poop.
Yes!
Something, and then you found that there was actually not a whole bag, but like a
Oh,
little
so
doggy bag.
you know how you pick up the dog poop when you're walking or whatever. So I had the stroller in the back of my van, and I didn't want to carry the dog poop, so I put it in the bottom like holder, and then I was gonna throw it out when I got home.
Yeah.
Well,
You forgot.
so I was like, why does my car
When-
smell like poop?
When we moved one time, I had cat treats in the car, and I must have forgotten about them. And then, like, all of a sudden, my car started smelling terrible. Like, it smelled like dirty potatoes. Do you remember that? I found
Dirty
out it was yeah.
potatoes!
And I found it was these stupid cat treats that were rotting in the back seat.
Gross.
Ugh. Oh, we're all gross.
humans.
Anyway,
Yep.
Megan wants to know: do you guys think Malfoy knew who the dog was, or was he just trying to find anything to pick on Harry about?
He knew.
I
He
think
knew.
he knew.
Yeah, I think he knew.
Who are you talking about, Ron? I didn't listen.
Malfoy.
Oh,
the
yeah.
dog.
Sarah, not this Sarah, says, with regard to Luna staring and not blinking much, do you think she's slightly empathic or possibly a slight legilimens? And the chat was talking about this, and someone said that they interpreted her being on the autism spectrum, which I think that's a really cool thing to consider. Like, we've talked about that with Newt, too.
Yeah.
And they were also saying, like, definitely an empath. What do you think?
I mean, I could totally see, honestly, all of that. I just think she's really good at reading people. And I know for me, because I think I'm pretty good at reading people. Probably not the best, but when you first meet them, like, you see she doesn't say a crazy amount of stuff. Mm-hmm. But and I know for me, like, I learn by, like, watching, you know what I mean? Like, watching what they're doing and, like, kind of listening to what they're saying. And that's how I view Luna, is like she's just kind of trying to read them. Because she knows Harry-ish. She obviously knows Ginny, but she doesn't really know like Neville and everything. So
Yeah.
and then Ron, who doesn't want to look at that cute face?
Right.
Hermione when she's mad.
Vinny asks, if Moody can see through the cloak of invisibility, do you think he can see Thestrals with his magic eye? Disconsidering that he already has seen death.
Ooh, I bet. Or it's like he sees like a shimmery, like almost you can see him, like you know something's there, but you can't see like fully.
Oh, I know
I
what you're
like
saying.
that. I like that. All right, and our last lightning bolt round from Maui Potter. If you can only see Thestrals after seeing and experiencing death, do we think that there are other creatures that you can only see after a certain experience? For example, like falling in love.
Trolls.
Oh, that would be
Like the
really
love trolls.
cool.
That would be cool.
I like that a lot. I bet you there is.
There's
Why
gotta
not?
be. There's gotta be.
What do you think it would be?
I don't know. Something
Name
cute.
it. Give me a name.
Like a fairy of some sort.
Oh.
Falling in love, you get to see a certain type of fairy. I don't know. Something magical.
A
I mean, they're all
love
magical.
fairy. A Larry.
His name's Larry.
Pixies. Freshly caught Cornish pixies.
Cornish pixies in love.
All right. Do you know what time it is?
Time for
Bedtime?
the fan story.
Tell me a story, Katie.
You got it.
Read me a book.
All right. This week, Kayla Cavalier has sent in her
Ooh, I
story.
like that name.
I know, it's really cool. Hey girls, my Potter story began when I was in first grade. The
What
book
up?
all my fellow first graders were talking about was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and I had to have it. My grandpa was the one who taught me to read, and him and I shared, and still do, a bond over stories of all kinds. I spent the night at my grandparents' house on Saturday night and ranted and raved to my papa all about The Boy Who Lived for about 2 hours, and I'd never even read the book. The next morning, we were getting ready to head to church, and my grandpa surprised me, and before I had woken up that morning, went and bought me the book I couldn't stop talking his ear off about. I read it all during church and after, and finished it in the next few days. For the following years, he would graciously and excitedly pre-order me the next book, and I would look forward to finding out more about Harry and his friends in the next phase of their adventures. The books have been there for me for so many milestones in my life, and I can't imagine not having a Wizarding World to fall back on during some difficult times. Finding your podcast about 1.5 years ago has been amazing. I listen to and from work and love getting to reflect on parts of the stories I forgot about and learn things I didn't know. I am now 27 and my husband and I are trying for a baby. I can't wait to share this huge part of my life with my future child one day and return to Hogwarts once again to relive some of my favorite memories through a new set of eyes.
Cute.
I love that. I gotta relate to this because my papa spoiled me too, big time. So like I really resonate, especially now that I'm older and I can like really appreciate that he like just wanted to love the heck out of me, you know? So I love that he was just like, she's been talking about this, I'm just gonna go get it before she even wakes up. That's adorable.
I love it.
Really sweet.
Also, I know that you sent this story, I think it was late last year, so not too long ago, but I hope things are going well for you and your husband.
Yeah.
Yes.
Best of luck.
Absolutely.
We need a new generation at Hogwarts.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true, we do.
Oh, okay. It's my turn. You can find us on Facebook at Swish and Flick Podcast and our Facebook group at Swish and Flick Podcast Group. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Swish Flickcast and on Patreon at patreon.com/SwishFlickcast.
Yep.
Also, because I just put out last week when we were recording about like different merch, because we were talking about it while we were recording, like what's some new stuff that we could bring out for people, and a lot of what people ask for we already have, like mugs and hats.
Maybe they want different designs on mugs. Is that-
I just don't know. And I meant to like put it out there to be like, we do have like some merch like on our site.
Yeah.
So don't forget that we got shirts, hats, cups, tumblers, blankets. Some people ask for. Our blankets are great.
Yes.
The tumblers are really, really nice. And I'm not really someone that uses a tumbler, because I usually just put my coffee in a mug and then go about my day whilst like driving with like an open coffee mug.
That's so not okay.
I mean, it's fine. I've only spilled like twice in my life.
That's
I
2
ruined a
times too
really
many.
cute skirt that way. Not from coffee. I put laundry detergent on it when I got home after working all day, and let it sit too long.
You gotta
And
ox-
that stained the skirt.
You gotta OxyClean it.
No, I put whisk on it, which is like a thing. But look on our website and see. And if you have any other ideas, like when you look at our site, you're like, oh, this would be really cool. Let us know.
Yeah, I put ice in that tumbler last night before I went to
keeps
bed,
hot
and
and cold.
I woke up and I still had little pieces of ice in there.
Yeah.
Like if I make hot coffee for breakfast, but like before I'm going to work, I always have to like water it down with cold water because
it takes too long to cool.
yes,
Yeah.
and I like have to drink it.
People
I
look
try to
at me
drink
like
it
I'm crazy
before.
when I do that with my Yeti and stuff at work. I'm like pouring water in there, and they're like, I'm like, it's too hot.
I mean, it's like,
Get
is it
over
the
it.
best thing to do? No, like,
Do I care? Also, no.
yeah, yeah. I just want my coffee, and I want it to be able to drink it now. So
Don't care how.
yeah, but it's very good.
So, I'm tired. But as of today, I am getting a 3-week break from work because of everything that's happening. And I don't know how I feel about it.
It's just weird.
I
we
would
were talking
rather
about
not
before.
have it.
We feel weird.
You know, I'd rather have everything back to normal.
You know that feeling before like a break is coming at work, like before Christmas, but like it's more excited then, but like you can tell that people are distracted, nothing is really getting done.
Yeah.
It's like that's what work has felt like for the past like week.
Yeah.
Where it's
Exactly.
just like
nobody's mind.
all we're doing is
Yeah.
talking about it
Yeah.
all day,
Yeah.
and it has just been
It's
it's been like
exhausting.
yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. Like yesterday we were recording and it was not, I mean, it was late, but it was not that late. And I was so exhausted.
Yeah.
So exhausted. I was sitting up trying to stay awake.
Like, I
And-
feel like my mind is just constant, which wears me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of tired than.
And it's like, I have things to do, but at the end of the day, I just want to come home and I want to watch like something on Netflix and go
just
to bed.
decompress, man.
Yeah.
You know, because it's exhausting.
It has
during
been
the day.
exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wish that like, so we're recording this on a Thursday, and I worked 3 in a row. So I worked Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I'm on like I took a vacation for my spring break, so I could have a week to like get my life in order, not like having school, not going to work, and now I'm kind of regretting it, which sounds insane because I work in a hospital system, so like / in a hospital, but I'm like I don't know what's going on, and I like wish I had. More
The
information
inside,
because
sort
like
of.
we didn't know anything, and then we found out there was cases in Ohio, in Cuyahoga County specifically,
Which is where we are, FYI.
and so I like just feel super out of the loop, and I'm not used to that. And I'm getting like secondhand information from like my mom who works in a hospital. I don't know. It just it gives me anxiety. The whole thing is anxiety inducing, just because like I don't like being not in the know, especially with my own job because she
You wanna
doesn't
be
work in the same.
prepared.
Yeah, and I just like to know what my job is doing. You know what I mean? So I almost feel like maybe I'll just go in and read my emails.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, everything's pretty wild. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'll be doing Swish stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably maybe some video games. Maybe I'll get to play some games.
Playing her video games.
But I don't know. It's weird. Hopefully the weather's nice and I can play outside with my baby.
Yeah.
Still working out. Katie and I have got goals.
We
Me
got
too.
goals.
Yay.
Yeah.
Working out with her.
I have no goals.
We made a pact this morning.
We did.
We gotta get it done.
We made a pact.
My body is hating me right now,
Well, yeah.
but it's all good.
All right. What are you doing?
Honestly, I've just been like exhausted lately. I
Yeah.
don't know. I've been watching a lot of Tiny House Nation, the show, which is like so the opposite of like how Katie and I live. Like realistically, I know deep down it would never work for us, but like watching them, I'm like, how cute. Oh my
I could
God.
do this.
You
I
don't
could do
think it would
this.
work for you? Why?
It's too tiny.
So like, as
love
as
the
I
far
get
as like
really
the mobile
annoyed
thing,
by not
that's
having
awesome.
space.
Yeah, but like I guess if you're living in Ohio, you can't like always be outside because
Yeah.
90% of Ohio weather is winter.
Colder, right?
Yeah.
I
But it
know,
feels like a
yeah.
lot of times. But like there's some people like, you know, when they live in like a state where like it's pretty nice most of the year. Like they could
Yeah.
have like be parked in a yard that has like
hookups
land.
for sewer and water and electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know, like it's a really cool concept, and like I even not living tiny, like it makes me want to downsize my stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good thing. And that's definitely something that we're gonna do before we move.
That's what I do when I watch Hoarders. I have to go clean.
Yeah. So I've been watching Tiny House Nation and really loving just like the aesthetic of some of the houses. And it's giving me ideas, even like not necessarily for a tiny house, but just like for a home someday. It's just cool to see like how they decorate things. And we're maybe going to get a house. I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah, we're doing adult things.
Also, like if the economy keeps going down the tubes, maybe they'll lower the mortgage rates and I'll be able to get a really good mortgage.
Yeah.
So
Not wrong.
Gotta look at the silver linings.
but then
I
also
guess.
like if the economy tanks, what if I, I don't know, lose my job or something? So
Yeah.
this is going to have an effect for years.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Disney World closed. They never closed.
Disney World
they
closed.
never closed.
So Universal.
Disneyland closed.
both
they just
World,
did.
World and Universal.
Universal just
2
closed
weeks
for
at
2
least.
weeks.
Wow.
Think
Even
about
our
how
high school closed for
I
a
know.
month. Over a
As
month.
soon as I got that alert, I was like, do you know how hard it was to get a flippin' snow day at this
Yeah.
school? And they're closed for a month.
it's crazy.
But I mean, like we're like Ohio specifically is taking a lot of precautions. Like this is the thing. You just kind of got to be distant from people, to help.
Yeah.
So
Social
here's the thing:
distancing.
there's no way to stop it completely. It's going to spread because there's going to be people that are going to go around, and like some people don't know that they're carrying it. Yada 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 yada.
Right.
Especially like when you work in a hospital, you're more likely. I feel like to get it, but you just got to be safe. It's gonna spread.
It's just interesting because I remember last year talking with my friend, and like both of us were thinking about like maybe this year would be the year that we would get a mortgage. And he was like, because it was in 2019, and he's like, well, wait until next year because there's a lot of talk about like the markets crashing next year. And like they did. It's just so weird. So now I'm like,
That's creepy.
it's just weird. But yeah. So we might get a house. I don't know.
With a mouse?
Hopefully not.
Jinx, you and me, Coke. Hopefully with 2
lot of
cats
stuff
and a doggo.
no.
Is his name gonna be Bingo?
No. It would be
Bingo the doggo.
Katie, what are you doing? Tell me about you.
It's all about you.
I don't know. Managing anxiety, trying to.
Katie's been working from home.
Yeah, which is really cool because my boss like surprised me kind of and said like she kind of found out I was uncomfortable and a little anxious, and she was like, if you want to work from home, like you can make that work. So that was really cool.
She ran out the door.
Yeah. But I guess I should say that if you're feeling anxious or something, it's worth it speaking up, especially to all my fellow puffs who we don't know how to speak up. And you might be totally anxious while you're doing it and it's scary. But in this instance, like just being honest and open, like was really beneficial to me. It's a little PSA.
Yeah.
Other than that, just trying to stay healthy and work out and trying to eat better. Yep.
Yep.
I have nothing going on. My school has now been completely online, which is gonna suck for me because I don't do well with online classes. So I'm hoping to still do well enough that I pass. So it's just making me anxious, and that's probably it. I'm not really doing much. Like now with my having like a week off next week where I don't have to work or really, I mean, I still have school stuff to do and Swish stuff to do, but like I'm trying to get my life like stuff in order. Like I just went through all of my clothes and stuff. This is gonna sound crazy. I got rid of several bags of stuff, of just stuff like clothes and shoes and like wall hangings basically, and all this stuff that I'm glad I got rid of, and
It feels good to let
feeling
go
a
of stuff.
less cluttered in my life. But there's like I have a lot of Harry Potter things that I have that I don't need.
I've kind of been thinking the same thing lately.
Like
Like, do I want to move all this stuff again?
I don't need literally like I think I have 10 copies of the first book. I don't need that many. And there's other people
I'm
that
not
would
saying anything.
like there are people that would need / want, this series, and I have like the whole, I don't
Absolutely.
need it, and so I got to go through things.
you could donate them to
donate 'em.
my school.
Possibly. We'll see what happens. I want to like if I give, because I have like a set of all of the books like paperback. Like I really want to give it to someone that like wants them and like will really appreciate them.
I have a really good idea for yours and mine's stuff, but we can talk about it after the episode.
And that's pretty much it. I had a rough week this week. The beginning of it was I had a rough day. So I'm glad to have some time off, but I just wish I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
What else is happening? That's pretty much it. Not doing much. Trying to keep my head leveled.
I feel you.
And that's it. Also, if you're by the time you're listening to this, I don't know if there's going to be any more voting, but vote.
Yeah.
Oh, there will be.
There will be, I think. It goes until June.
Yeah. Our primaries are
So weird.
next week.
Yeah, ours are next week.
Well, let me leave this with two things. The first thing is, for anyone listening to this going through this really weird time in our world, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if only one remembers to turn on the lights.
Tomorrow's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason why my Monday was like so nutso was because it was a full moon, full moon. It's crazy.
Remus Lupin, right?
Also, before I go, I want to talk about this cool app that my friend made me download if you're into astrology and stuff, which if you're not, cool. If you are, cool. It's called CoStar. And it says today, you are indestructible.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah.
The other day it told me, let me find it. I thought it was funny. It's not going to load now, of course. It was like something about like you have to get rid of like your material crutch or something like that. And I was like, oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just a reminder for everybody, wash your hands for 20 seconds.
Sing happy birthday to yourself twice.
Or sing, like the Hogwarts theme song or something slowly. Just, get
or listen to
between
us
your
for 20
fingers,
seconds.
scrub where your nails are, do a little swish swish with your hands.
We should sing a song for you guys to wash your hands to. This is the way we wash our hands, wash our hands, wash our hands.
This is the way Swish washes their hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Every 20
Hold
seconds.
on. All right.
What are we singing?
I don't know. Go. 1, 2, 3.
This is the way Swish washes their hands, washes their hands, washes their hands.
This is the way Swish washes their hands, washes their hands, washes their hands.
Swish, 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 swish.
Swish, 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 swish.
Swish.
That was
20 seconds. That's how long you should wash your hands. Get in between your fingers. That's one of the most unreached areas.
And the back of your hands
thumbs.
and your thumbs.
The back of your thumbs. Wash your thumbs.
Keep your fingers out of your mouth.
Don't touch your face.
And most importantly, just listen to Swish.
Yeah. Just listen to Swish.
And enjoy March. My birthday's coming up, and I'll be old.
Okay. That concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and don't let the muggles get you down.
And remember, you're just as sane as we are. Sorry.
Amazing! Just my voice!
Can you do the whole beginning in a Florence voice?
Yeah, sure.
Hello and welcome to Switch and Flick.
So Harry had a little bit of trouble sleeping that night, and his dreams were
I
his...
thought you were going to say
Oh.
Harry had a little lamb, and I don't know why.
Harry had a little lamb.
Baha, baha.
Harry had a little lamb.
I feel like we're not singing the right tune.
Correct.
Well, you're definitely not.
It's 2 songs together.
I'm so confused.
Let's just start your section over with because I'm crazy. And this is already off to
A wonderful start.
All right. Well. So
You scared the living daylights out of me.
I got Harry Tato.
I've wanted Harry Tato.
Oh, gosh.
Tiffany's so
oh my gosh. I thought something was wrong. She got a hairy potato, everyone. Be happy for her.
So excited.